Be strong.
Hello, this is Bear Blast, my podcast featuring SPAC members Jace Grundy and
Hi, thank you, Jace. This is Saina, and welcome to Beer Blast podcast. So we are here today to talk about such an important topic, which might be very important for people who are deciding to participate at Mott Community College, who are already here and really want to know more about other students' experience.
now before we can exactly get onto that, I want to say that we as members of SPAC work tirelessly to form a bond between the president, body, and the students, and we all come from different, very different places in life. We all have a lot of responsibilities, different perspectives on success and balancing work and life and all of this. So there are a couple of things that we can go over that have impacted us in our lives. Um, so one of them, if you want to, if I can start off, is how do I see myself and my current experience of balancing everything? And how can I prepare my future self? Well, I think starting out, I think habits are very important for um my current experience of balancing everything. Um, I didn't have really good habits as a kid. I kind of learned a lot more when I was getting older. Do you have any habits that you started doing?
Yeah, sure. I was just trying to not to interrupt you. Thank you so much. Yeah, as Jade said, like there are, it's very interesting to know. So, for since our topic is about balancing work life and school, and it's so important for students who wants to come here and they are trying to work as well and have like somehow managing their life. They are not just gonna be like somehow like I'm gonna only study or I'm gonna only work. It's so good to like in this environment that we need diploma, we need to study. We cannot just go to work, find our dream job without having the certificate or the document that we need. Okay, so how we see our current experience of balancing everything? There are many things that how can I see myself as like perspective of a student who already is working like who had working full time and also having like more than two jobs and coming here and studying in person online. So there are some tricks or tips that I can give for the students who are interested. The first thing is to find out the some find sort of jobs if you could that is matching your career. If you have studying and the career the same thing, that is easier to balance it rather than like if it's something like different. However, mine was like different. I don't say that it's gonna work for 100% all of the students, but it's good if you could find it. If like there are some internships, there are some sort of jobs that are basic of a major that you can go through, that would be good. If not, that's okay. That's also you're able to manage that one. Then the second thing is that make sure that you have a set up calendar. You have a schedule how you are managing your time. Is like time is really precious and valuable. Don't try to lose it for like something or nothing. Like every moment is important for you and every moment is such a diamond. Try to use it. Also make sure you have sleep enough. Do not overlap yourself that you lose your sleep, you lose your like physical mental health is important.
Mm.
All of that can help you through balancing your life. And yeah, mostly the first and important thing would go back to our like time management and how you are currently. If you are working at night and studying during the day, that might work. That works for some people, but sometimes people they work during the day and study. That's also work. Like you can take like few courses or just like schedule your courses the way that works for you, the way that you can manage your work and also your classes.
Yeah, I think that your path of life is a lot more common here than mine might be because, a lot of people that come here, they already have like established themselves and then, they might be in a relationship or have kids or have like a full-time job or maybe two full-time jobs and they're trying to get an education. Um, I am I'm very young and right out of high school. My balance of life is a little bit different. I was a student athlete a lot and didn't really a lot of times I didn't have like a job, but I still did have to balance, athletics and academics if I wanted to. Because I didn't want to just excel in one of them. I want to excel in both of them. I want to excel in everything that I do that I do. So for me, sleep, of course, is always important. I think that I admittedly, when I was a bit younger, I didn't really consider how important sleeping was. Um, but when I started realizing, like, hey, if you sleep for over like 6 hours and then you take a test, you do better. So that is definitely something that I think a lot of people overlook that. I would totally tell you that, like, hey, you need to work on your sleep schedule.
Right.
And just getting into habits like hobbies that help you physically and mentally. Like maybe going on like a run every so often helps de-stress and helps you balance your mental health and your things that you have to do in your everyday life. Um, Study routine, if you can set up like a calendar, like a set amount of time to study, it really like helps you format your day so that you don't feel like you're not doing anything, or you can work around your day.
Jace, you mentioned about your athletic. That's so interesting because a lot of the students they are athletes and they like to come. First of all,
Right.
I would like to ask you what part of sports are you playing or what sport do you play and how does that one affect you on like you already mentioned that like
Hmm.
running sports this kind of thing that can help through mental health. I would like you to talk more about it because I'm not athletic at
Right.
all. So I'd like to know more and I'm sure that our audience also they want to learn more about it. Like could you please like tell us
Right.
about it?
Well, there are a couple of things that I could say. I do wrestling. And I think that if you find something you really enjoy, um, it makes the stuff that you do that, maybe you are feeling overwhelmed from school or you have to balance work and school and it's very stressful. When you have something like a sport that you do, or not even a sport, maybe just something that you really enjoy. It could be a sport, but it helps a lot. It helps you organize it or give you a clear state of mind. Um, for now, it does have its like for sports specifically, it does have its struggles because sometimes, it could be you could be like very tired from doing your sport, or you could be very like mentally exhausted. And so it's important to practice other habits too, like focusing on, your study routine, like I said before, or maybe you just need to hang out more socially. And I think that that balance between, your work, your school life, and your social life is very important. And I think that sports can play a role in that.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go to ask you the other question. Sorry, I'm
Okay,
asking
that's
you, but that's
okay.
okay. You can ask me
Hey,
back as well.
okay,
So
yeah.
the thing is, can you share a specific moment where you felt proud of how you balanced everything?
Oh
So,
man.
like, a specific, I mean,
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of experiences, but it's so interesting when you say, yeah,
Yeah.
one time, yeah. So,
Yeah. No, I feel like recently I've been very proud of myself because I'm taking on a lot more responsibilities and I am able to handle it very well. I'm taking harder classes.
right.
Um, I'm part of clubs. So I'm a part of this club, SPAC. That's a big thing for me. Um,
Definitely, definitely. It's like we are as Jace mentioned, we are playing as a role of liaisons of a body of students, which is basically doing the leadership. It's not
right.
easy a job and it requires a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then like additionally, you have relationships with people that you care about, that is trying to like put that and balance that in there too. Um, or having a job or looking at your, scheduling stuff for the future. Right now, I feel very, very confident in myself. And I think that that confidence that you get when you're able to organize everything and balance it, um, helps a lot. So, what about you? Do you have a specific moment in mind?
Thanks so much. Yeah. I mean, it's like life is it's so interesting because this type of life, this is what I like it, to be honest. I like to be
Right.
busy. I like to do work. I'm enjoying to get up early in the morning because I have goals to do. And that's very important since like I have very my previous like my kind of like I have very chaotic life, to be
Mm.
honest. And then I came from, as I mentioned in previous podcasts, I came from Afghanistan. I had like a lot going on, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
so I end up between transferring from one country to a country in a moment that I didn't have any goal or I didn't know how to set my goals, which was probably the hardest time of my life. I
Right.
had time for sleep, I had time for eating, I had everything. I didn't have goals, and that was the worst thing that could happen to me.
Mm.
So the right now, I'm as I shared, it's so interesting that I'm enjoying all of that. But then one moment that was very, very interesting for me that like I was like keep thinking there was a Dr. Beverly Garcia, the previous president of Mott Community College. They had a event that was with Anna Navarro, one of the Republicans. Um, Politicians somehow. I'm
Right.
gonna say that
Yeah.
it was a big moment. It was in the theater, and there was a stage, and
Right.
many people they were here. And when she was, we were as a member of the students, they went there to ask our questions, which was very interesting. And then when Dr. Beverly was introducing me, like there was a list of activities that I have done,
Right.
a list of things that she was
Wow.
saying,
Yeah.
president, like vice president, doctor, and that was the most like successful moment that I have ever seen
Right.
myself. And at that time, my husband was also one of the audiences, and I was like, oh my gosh. And he just
Yeah.
told me that your title wasn't finished, I know. Probably that was the biggest moment of my life that I just look back and proud of myself that sometimes we don't look at ourselves how much we are doing.
Yeah.
We are just keep doing and keep continuing, keep doing. And then when just in a moment you look at it, you will say, oh my gosh, I did a lot. I always thought I'm just a student. No, I see I'm not just a student. I'm doing more than just a
Yeah.
student.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that because that is really important. Just looking back or having somebody tell you that like you are doing a lot or you've done a lot. Um,
Right.
my girlfriend, she's like a very accomplished, and I'm very proud of what she's done. But she doesn't feel the same way, and so I'm like, excuse you, you've been a tutor at like the school for like 5 different subjects. You have like an internship and everything. You skipped a year, so you're like a year younger than everybody else. So
Right.
like having that is just it's so nice. And I'm also glad you mentioned goals too, because setting goals is something I learned my senior year was so important. And
Right.
I had set academic goals and athletic goals. And
Right.
like I practiced every day to get better at them. And I never felt more successful than when I achieved them. And I was like, oh my gosh, when I'm goal oriented, I can actually do things. And then I feel accomplished when I do things. I don't know how I didn't realize that when I was younger.
Something we are like setting our goals and then we are saying and then it's not easy to do that goal because mostly when it's we are human, we are not starting from like an easy goal that's okay, I'm gonna achieve that. We are setting a big goal normally and then we're trying to break it down in small pieces. And then
Right,
what it's so hard when you come in, okay, I'm a student at the school and I have a lot of college like chores to do. I have this. Do I have time to get all of this? Like
right,
sometimes we are losing our time to that. But then there is like something that we find out all of these things that we say that gonna take our time, like school, and then we find out that these all can change as our helpers to go faster to that goal.
mm,
Like if you are like setting a specific, you talk about academic goals. If we are thinking about that, oh, academic goals, I'm gonna get my like PhD. That's not easy that you think
yeah,
because like or even I'm transferring to university or getting my major. That's so hard because you have to pass a lot of prerequisites and then
mm,
requisite courses, and then you get to your career what you want to go. So that's like when we think about the, oh, that's so hard. But then when we think it's okay, at a school, I know that professor, I know this person, I know student, like they
Right.
all are gonna help me. So they can be always like helper for me, or we have a lot of activities and a lot of helpers specific at Mott Community College. So all of that can help us to reach that. And when we reach to the point that we are saying, "Yay, I did it,"
Right.
that's the biggest moment,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, I like to add on to that. I read a story about this woman. She went to a college and her husband was in the military and she had 6 kids and her goal was to get a master's degree in psychology in 5 years. And I was reading through the article and she was like during my lunch breaks, she was studying. She was studying, like going in an hour before work so she could study. She was staying late so she could work. And it was very tiring, but like when she was able to achieve that goal, she did it in 7 years, but still that's like giant that you're able to do that while working and having 6 kids.
Right,
So just hearing that, I obviously don't have enough life experience to have something like that, but I want to have a goal like that. I want to have a degree in mechanical engineering, and that's huge for me.
right.
So everyone has their own goals, and everyone has different ways to achieve them. Some of them might be harder than others, but when you practice those routines and you have your goal oriented, it's a lot easier to look at, you know?
Right, right. And that's so interesting when you're talking about that. That's very important point of time management that you say about that lady.
Right.
So like, but this is what like when I'm seeing myself that I don't have any time to do some chores, like cleaning my car once a week. It's so hard because I'm
Yeah.
so busy and I don't have time. But what I found is when I put gas in my car, that's the big
Yeah.
moment that
Yeah.
I just clean my car, like really fast cleaning. And
Yeah.
if we start everything the same thing, it's gonna be easy. It's not as hard as we think. And that's the like very important how to manage your time. That go back to the first thing that we were talking about. So we were going to the other question that what are your goals for the next year? Oh, we were just talking about the goals.
But no, I definitely think there's something we can talk about. Um, For me, I want to transfer, and transferring, I've talked about it before on a previous podcast, that it can be very threatening. And it's still a little bit scary to me because like the path isn't 100% all the time. Um, but I'm looking at Kettering right now. I just had a visit there recently. It's a very nice school. Um, but I went there and I was like, this is pretty good place. I would like to go here. And so Kettering is very expensive,
It is.
very, very expensive. But my goal for next year was to get as many scholarships as I could so that I could go to Kettering reasonably and not, have to pay a lot out of pocket.
Right,
And so, balancing that or like so far I'm setting like a goal for myself to, search for like at least one scholarship every week, no matter how big or small it is, and like submit an essay or an application. Some of them you don't need essays, you just submit an application for it.
right,
And something like that where you can, you know, put a chunk of time to like work towards it, or it's something small that you can work towards taking tiny steps. That's very important. What about you? Do you have
yeah.
any goals?
Definitely, I do have goal. I think if I don't have goal, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be alive.
right.
Yeah, you were talking about scholarship. Before I say about my goals, I do like to talk about that one. Scholarships are a very important point of success, especially in academic area or even just our life.
Hmm.
Uh, Scholarships are something that help us specific for people who are like students or who wants to return back to school and go. So a scholarship can be a big drawing point of your life
Yes, yeah,
because through that one this is very good way because a lot of student scholarships they are paying for you but then when financially they're so like covering your money and then you're gonna get that money you're gonna
right,
use it for other aspects or sometimes like we have also emergency funds at my community college that if the students they have emergency situation they're gonna pay for them these kind of things these are like I do want to emphasize on them that for our audiences that don't forget about them.
right.
When you were thinking about the well, like what you say about catering, like every catering, sorry,
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. No, it's okay. No.
Sorry. So catering, it's like it's gonna when you think about that, that's like engineering in school. That's so hard to get that. I understand that's hard because that's expensive, and that's one of the successful colleges in here. But then,
Right.
like when you look at it, how do you manage it to get that one?
Hmm.
That's very very good. Like it's like yeah, I'm gonna get a scholarship. Yes, this is hard, but that's not impossible.
Right.
Yeah. So for myself, going back to me, I do have. I'm going to architecture school at the University of Michigan in Ann
Oh,
Arbor.
that's nice. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So it is like so right now I'm also getting my CAD certificate, which is
Okay.
a program for architecture, and that's my goal. Somehow I put all of myself on that. However, I
Right.
have other goals, but my main goal is that one, and I'm trying to participate in more events like related to architecture. However, I'm working through the gender and feminist as well since
Right. So,
I'm from Afghanistan. Definitely, I should do that.
right.
So yeah, I'm working for women as well, and I'm more welcome anytime that anybody knows me or see me in the college or around.
Right.
Just like if you have questions about feminism, I'm more than welcome to help you with that or about an architecture. Yes, my passion is my career would be to go
Right.
towards architecture and work with companies to learn more. And my right now I'm just setting up to apply for some companies which are known as biggest companies of construction in
Right.
Michigan and around the United States. So my goal is to just get my internship through those programs, through those companies that would be able to work with them. So basically that's
Right.
gonna build my and then but I'm like my biggest goal would be to start my own company also
Oh,
towards
yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but then I need my license
No, yeah, yeah.
towards architecture, and I have to do like at college that I'm going, I have to do 4 years plus 2 years, then I can get my license.
Right.
So basically, I'm going towards that one, to
That's all
working
right.
towards
Yeah.
that.
No, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something that I care about this.
Right. No, it's great that you mentioned it, like having multiple goals that lead up into each other.
Yeah.
But like also I want to like emphasize that like when you mentioned, you were in a club and taking like doing club activities, I think that's also important to like emphasize that like you can have smaller goals too. Like if you were not the best like socially or you want to meet new people, maybe your goal could be to just join more clubs or do more volunteer stuff. You know, that could be something that you work towards too. I know that I wasn't really doing as much um, volunteering or activity stuff until this semester. And I am now, and I'm feeling a lot better about, my schedule and all that stuff and how I organize myself.
Right, and as I mentioned, I'm a member of Feminist League, so I have had some volunteer working.
Right,
So volunteer working isn't just like just because I'm a member of a club, I'm doing that. It's
right.
like you're getting that feeling of somehow proud of
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I was able to help some women through that. I was able to just do a small pieces of helping
Yeah,
women. I don't have to do a big thing for women that be like known as hero. I don't need that. I mean, it's like big, small pieces can make, or sometimes just seeing a smile of a kid can make you
right.
happy
No,
enough
yeah,
to understand
100%.
that. Yeah, and this kind of thing, all of that, like especially charity works, or as you mentioned, like meeting new people, talking to them, you're gonna find it. Sometimes we find opportunities through people. That's so
Mm-hmm.
interesting because a lot of time I'm talking to my friends or new friends that I just met towards the events that I'm going towards, the like college event or out of college. And then I'm talking to them, some of them they share that they are looking for a job, or I might know some company that they know, like, and that they
Yeah,
are hiring that sort of job that they know. Or sometimes I'm asking for some help and they are saying, yeah, we know this person. Or
right.
it doesn't have to be definitely that person that help like to know towards that. They know other people. This
Mm-hmm.
connection and communication that can help us to success and gain knowledge also
Yeah,
on like what we gonna do. So this is how like balance in life is not just let's make it clear. It's not just okay, I'm gonna set up my sleep time and then I'm gonna study and then I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah.
Because you cannot balance your life. It's almost impossible to balance your life without any goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to know what you are doing and why you are doing.
Yeah.
That's how you can manage it.
I feel like once you have a goal, you can start building around that goal. Like if I wanted to like you said, like be an architecture at like go to U of M for architecture, maybe I have that goal and then I start doing more activities with architecture, and then maybe like I start taking harder classes for architecture, and then just build yourself around it, and then you can start achieving that goal, and it's like a lot closer than what you think it was, you know.
Right, right. And
So,
yeah,
100%. Well, it looks like we're coming up on our time now, but that was a really good conversation. I'm glad that we had that.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
no.
Jace. It was so nice, and thank you for hearing us. Please follow our podcast as a Beer Blast podcast at YouTube, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.